ABC.
Missouri lawmakers debate a bill to restrict students' restroom use based on biological sex.
Plus, the UM system president lays out new qualifications as the search for a new chancellor continues.
And a Columbia man facing federal charges to help terrorists bomb Kansas City. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
A Columbia man faces federal charges accused of attempting to aid a terrorist attack. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. Robert Lorenzo Hester was arrested last week after he met with an undercover law enforcement agent. Hester was under the impression they were planning a terrorist attack. We have video of the scene around his home last week in the 1700 block of Hanover Boulevard. Both FBI and other law enforcement agencies swooped in for the arrest. KOMU 8's Hannah Knutson is here in the studio with the details.
The FBI says it caught on to Hester after reviewing his social media accounts with public posts expressing anger towards the U.S. and radical Islamic ideology. According to court papers, Hester was arrested after engaging with an undercover FBI agent. Investigators say he was under the impression they were going to attack buses, trains, and a train station in Kansas City on President's Day. Eric Jackson, an FBI special agent in charge of the Kansas City field office, issued a statement saying terrorism knows no demographic boundaries and remains the FBI's top priority. Hester expressed approval that the attack was going to be 10 times bigger than the Boston Marathon attacks. He reportedly said, "Good day for Muslims worldwide." Hester will remain in federal custody without bond until Friday morning. On Friday, there will be a detention hearing to set a bond or rule without bond. We'll have reaction from Hester's neighbors tonight at 9 and 10. Reporting in the studio, Hannah Knutson, KOMU 8 News.
The FBI's investigation with Hester started last year. On October 3rd, Columbia police arrested Hester for an incident in a grocery store parking lot. 2 days later, an undercover FBI employee contacted him. After talking with the agent on social media, they decided to meet in January. The agent provided Hester with a list of items to purchase to make bombs. Throughout February, the undercover agent and Hester decided to plan a Kansas City attack for President's Day. Hester met again with the agent last Friday. That's when he was arrested.
St. Louis County Police say vandals damaged numerous headstones in a Jewish cemetery in University City. The vandals targeted more than 150 burial sites at the cemetery over the weekend. Police will not say if they're calling it a hate crime. The FBI and Justice Department are investigating the damage along with threats called into Jewish community centers around the country yesterday. Missouri is the latest state to dive into the controversial bathroom bill debate. Missouri Senate Bill 98 addresses the subject in Missouri's public schools. KOMU 8's Shanna Grove went to a committee hearing for the bill today and spoke with people on both sides of the issue.
Who can go in here and who can go in here? The bill aims to define the meaning behind these signs.
We see signs like these every day without questioning their meaning. When it comes to signs like these, widespread controversy is arising.
It's going to place our transgender students in danger.
To some, it's just a straightforward sign.
Separation of men and women as different genders based on their anatomy.
To others, it's a sign of a whole lot more.
It's how you identify.
Missouri Senate Bill 98 requires public school students to use restrooms, locker rooms, and showers according to their biological sex.
It says we're going to continue to identify male bathrooms, female bathrooms, but we'll also acknowledge that there are others that don't see themselves fitting either of those gender categories the way those have always been identified, and that we will also provide separate facilities for each of those genders.
The bill is already seeing some signs of opposition.
Local school boards are in the best situation, the locally elected officials, to determine what their school policy should be. This is not a statewide issue. I also believe that we should respect the identity of our young people as they utilize the facilities they believe to be appropriate for them.
And some even call it discriminatory.
It's basically going to out all of our transgender students and expose them to harassment.
MU has taken steps to provide gender-neutral bathrooms around campus, which are in these green buildings on this map. I spoke with an associate professor about his thoughts on gender-neutral bathrooms at this location here in the journalism school.
I think that the community here at the University of Missouri
has really shown a lot of empathy and understanding to the diverse community that we have, and a unisex bathroom is one practical solution.
And to some, that's a sign that points to the right direction. Serino says this bill is a different story.
I'm just trying to help the children, the next generations, not have to go through what I went through.
The bill applies to signs like these in kindergarten through 12th grade and higher education in the state. Reporting live in Columbia, Shanna Grove, KOMU 8 News.
A gas leak closed College Avenue between Rollins and University Avenue today. MU Alert reported the leak. The Columbia Fire Department responded. Ameren says private contractors cut into a gas line during a construction project. The gas was turned off immediately and only one customer was affected. New details this week for the search for an new MU chancellor. Interim President Mike Middleton released a profile outlining the expectations for the next chancellor. KOMU 8's Emily McCarter is live on campus to tell us more about that search.
This new profile says the UM system is looking for a chancellor who is transparent and who will strengthen MU's university. Other suggested qualifications include having business relationships that will lead MU in a time of budget cuts and fighting for the success of students of all backgrounds. Now, here's a timeline of some of the events that led up to the search. In September 2015, MSA President Peyton Head wrote a Facebook post about racism on campus, saying someone called him the N-word. On October 21st, the group concerned student 1950 demanded UM System President Tim Wolf's removal. This came a few weeks after a heated exchange between the group and Tim Wolf during the homecoming parade. Then in November, amidst protests on campus, Wolf resigned along with Chancellor R. Bowen Lofton. 3 days after the resignation, Mike Middleton was named interim UM System President. Now, let's jump ahead a year. In December of 2016, Middleton announced the 22-member Chancellor Search Committee. And finally, yesterday, he outlined a profile with qualifications for the new chancellor. In his email, Middleton welcomed all nominations of individuals believed to fit the profile. Reporting live on MU's campus, Emily McCarter, KOMU 8 News.
Here's what's happening right now. Missouri groups like Jobs with Justice and KOMU for Progress are setting up for a town hall. They invited U.S. Senators Claire McCaskill and Roy Blunt to meet with constituents at the ARC Recreation Center. The groups plan to ask about things like the Affordable Care Act and access to Planned Parenthood for Medicaid patients. The town hall starts at 6:30 tonight. Another comfortable day here in mid-Missouri. Let's check in with Kenton to see if it's going to start to feel more like February.
Brittany, thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. These temperatures are still rather warm for this time of the year. 63 in Columbia, 63 in Mexico as well, Moberly at 65. Winds very calm, only right around 5 miles an hour or less across really most of the state of Missouri, and that will continue overnight, which will aid in some fog development eventually after midnight. But otherwise, temperatures in the 50s here this evening. By sunrise, upper 40s are expected. The next couple days, chances to tie or break records with temperatures in the lower and upper 70s, depending on the day. More cloud cover here, though, on Thursday, and then I'm going to give you a sneak peek here at the weekend. We're cooling back down to seasonal conditions, back into the 40s. We have chances for rain and snow even in the 8-day forecast. I'll tell you everything you should know coming up right after the break.
Always know what's coming ahead of the storm. Download the free KOMU 8 Weather and Traffic app for your phone and tablet. Brought to you by ServiceMaster of Columbia.
Anybody